Greetings and welcome. I am KatherineOfSky and I'm joined by Nick.
Hi.
And today we are going to play Best of Both Worlds Factorio. Both Nick and I are Steam community moderators, have different styles and strategies, and this series is aimed at discussing and building solutions for different milestones in the game. So last episode, we managed to put down some miners and get some steel plate production going. And this one I think we're aiming for power, right?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to get some power going because this whole setup isn't really that efficient, and it's really annoying because you always have to
Pick it
get
up
back to
manually.
your old things and have to do things manually. And since that isn't what this game is about, we should get to the core of this game.
Sounds great. Yeah, already there's the mining drills are running out of coal, so I'm gonna go grab some of that. Oh, and we need to, let's build a box here so that we can collect some of this coal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start saving up materials to build the steam engine setup so that we can have our beginning bits of electricity going.
Okay. So I'm going to just build a different kind of setup.
Okay.
Down here because there is another iron ore patch which I can use for that.
Nice.
Just to show people what they can actually build, because I know your setups are more aimed to be already for mid and late mid game, something like that, which are extendable and which you can use until you launch the rocket, something like that.
Yeah.
And my setups are a little bit different, and yeah, I'm just going to show the people how my setups are going. I'm kind of using more steps in between than you are.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set up copper. At the moment, if anybody saw that, I queued up first 2 burner mining drills and then 2 furnaces. And the reason for that is, if you look at the burner mining drill recipe, it uses a stone furnace as an ingredient. So if I queued up the furnaces first, it would put them in my inventory, but then the burner mining drill queue would use those up. So I queued the drills first, I got 2 drills, and then I got 2 furnaces on top of that, I see a lot of people asking that question, which is why I mention it. That is why you run out of some stuff, is because the game automatically takes what's in your inventory to fill the requirements of whatever you're crafting next.
Yeah, it's very different, compared to other games, because other games, they don't do anything like that. They don't produce intermediate products automatically, so you have to build every item by yourself. You have to look at the crafting recipe of the last item you want to have in a line and have to build all the other items in between by yourself. And this game does that automatically if you have the raw resources or raw resources combined with intermediate products already in your inventory. So it's different, and that's the reason why some people don't understand it sometimes.
I like the feature though, it makes it really convenient to make things. But if you're using intermediate products on their own, yeah, you just have to remember to queue those after the other products are made. Alright, nice box. So I'm gonna show what the box does. So the box basically stores stuff, and the inserter is too slow to grab all of the pieces, so the rest just go along the line. But the box makes it convenient just to click like a whole stack of something and put it in your inventory.
Just control left click and then...
Yep. Well, for boxes, control left click will get you all of the stacks, and shift left click will get you 1 stack over.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm getting some copper. I'm gonna feed these with more coal.
So I'm back here at my patch, and I'm going to do something which at first will look very similar to what you built up there.
Okay.
But it will be completely self-sustained. Just kind of an interesting build I came up with. I'm quite sure I'm not the only person in the world which came up with that. You never are in Factorio.
No. So many creative players playing the game.
Yeah. So many minds. There's kind of a hive mind going on.
Hive mind. We are the Borg. Resistance is
together.
futile. You will be Factorian very shortly. Alright, so let me build a couple of these. And, oh, I need wood. Alright, let me go and grab some.
So what I'm trying to do here is just to run a belt with coal by those 2 drills and 2 furnaces.
Okay.
And then the burner inserters will just take this coal and feed all these machines. And as long as the burner mining drills over here don't use up all the coal under them, this setup will self-sustain and work until the coal runs out.
Nice. Oh, you got some nice thick grass growing over your ore. Does that affect the ore at all?
No, I don't think so. It's just a cosmetical thing.
I love it though. It's nice and thick. Looks like my cat might enjoy rolling around in it.
Or maybe
Tall grass
there
is
are
fun.
some Pokemon inside it.
Oh yes,
At any
Pokemon.
time. Yeah.
I never thought about that. We should get the devs to maybe make an app for Pokemon in this game and like go to different parts of the map. Wow.
Like an unofficial official mod.
That's right. I
So
wonder
here you
what
can
kind
see
of.
the
Oh, maybe you could
burner
find
inserters. Yeah. go
a
on.
biter-looking Pokemon here. That might be fun.
Yeah, maybe we should just bring that up as a mod idea on
It's a
the
good
Reddit
idea.
subreddit or
Oh my
something like that.
god, that would be funny, wouldn't it?
So you just saw that here the burner inserters just fueled themselves, and then after that they fueled the furnace and the mining drill, and now this whole thing is going.
Woohoo! That's nice.
And if I put a chest on the other end, on both sides, I can even ensure longer production.
Okay.
Otherwise it would stop until after 100 units are produced of the iron plates, because the furnace can only hold a maximum of 100 units. But now it won't, actually.
Nice. It's pretty cool. Alright, I think... Oh, I have a full setup. Oh, I just need to make power poles. There we go. Cut down some more trees. Trees, you shall give your lives for power poles.
So now I don't have to take care of anything, I just have to check by every now and then to see the chests filling up, and then I can collect my stuff.
Cool, I'm going to come over and see that in just a second.
Yeah, of course. The same setup works for copper too, since we only have 1 copper patch. Yeah, we only have 1. I'm going to build something similar up here.
Nice. So it's automatically
Until
putting
we
it into
power
chests. Though I'd like to, this is not an end game strategy, right? You don't want to be...
Definitely isn't, but it works for quite a time. And I like to introduce setups of this kind, because there are people who are new to the game and don't want to constantly think about 1,000 things at once.
True.
And by using this setup, they can just leave it there, and it's working. It's working, and they don't have to care about it, and can focus on other things.
Makes sense.
So this setup is pretty good for early mid game. But after that, you should probably switch to something else.
Cool. Alright, so I have all the materials, and I think I'm going to make this power area over here. And the reason is because I want to build it above these deposits so that we don't get impeded for digging them up, because those are valuable resources. And we also need water for power, because we're using steam engines. Definitely. So the optimal ratio for steam engines is 1 pump, which I've just built, and it has to be built in the water. I'm using an underground pipe, or pipe to ground it's called.
I'm going to take a look at your setup really quickly.
Oh yes, of course. I'll wait till you get here.
Because it's definitely the most efficient setup, even though it is not required that you do it that way.
Yeah, Factorio can be as casual or hardcore as you like. So here's the offshore pump. You need 1 of those in the water. And then the pipe to ground, or underground pipe as we also call it, allows you to walk between, because otherwise you can get stuck on pipes. It's kind of like, if we have a pipe wall, you can see how they do impede movement.
Like this, and then
you can't walk.
You're stuck.
It's bad.
Which can be very annoying. I agree with that.
So this is so if we want to run belts of, say, coal between it or something, we have that option. So next I'm going to build boilers, and there are 14 of those in the optimal setup. Another pipe to ground for more space, for walking space, and then 10 steam engines. These steam engines, you have to be really careful when you put them down, so that the pipe to ground connects in the middle of the engine.
Yeah, they have a footprint of 3 by 4, and maybe if we use one and turn it
Okay.
while having it still in hand. You can see this, how do you call it, blind,
Blind, like a blind spot?
yeah, where normally the pipe would connect,
Uh-huh.
and then you just put it down, and it works. It's
Yeah.
connected. But it doesn't work yet, because you have to establish an electric network, which consists of at least one thing generating power, one power pole, which is there to bring the power to the consumer, and one consumer. Until that, you will have that yellow icon which shows that the plug is pulled, kind of.
Yeah.
No connection.
Well, I'm going to feed those boilers so we at least start getting something in there. And then I'm going to build a couple of science labs, because that's what the ultimate goal of this thing is, or at least to start. We need to research stuff so we get better automation options.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I need for that? Oh, so this is another cool thing. If you don't have enough materials to make something, the crafting menu will tell you what you're short on. So I'm highlighting over the lab right now, and I need iron plates. So I'm going to pick some of those up, so I can craft some labs. And I need coal.
I have enough iron plates, but I have not enough copper plates.
Oh no!
Exactly the other way around. Anything.
Yes,
Hey.
well, once we get this running, though, viewers, do not worry. We will be swimming in resources. It's very, very nice to swim in resources. Very tasty ones.
So I'm manually kind of splitting up the belt of coal here, really quick, which is a thing you normally don't need to do, since you would have the splitter, but since we haven't researched anything yet,
yeah, this is a very cool way to do it.
a way to split it. I could just use this belt and extend it, something like that. I might going to do that. Yeah, it's a little bit better since I get a full throughput. Going to do something like that. Just continue belt, but you could split it up, which does work up to a certain extent, but not very long.
Yeah.
Since you always the bottle, you create a bottleneck kind of thing, where the inserter is only, you are only as fast as the inserter. You could add more inserters, but it's never a good solution.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's not. Splitters are the fastest way to transfer material, but like you said, it depends. Do you have the materials to build it, and do you have the research? It's pretty critical.
Yep.
All right, I have 2 working, which is nice. Wait, do these have? These do have a little bit of coal. I'll grab some more coal. And we apologize for the lighting. We will get lights shortly when we research them, but until then, it's going to have to be a little bit dark.
Okay, so I'm going to explain the setup again. So here, this first inserter, where I'm hovering my mouse over right now,
go where you are.
It is fueling itself, and after that it is fueling the one inserter which only would grab the iron plates. By only grabbing iron plates and only be able to grab iron plates, it won't fuel itself, so it would run out of power. But by fueling it with a second inserter, it can always grab the iron plates and is fueled. So it's automated. Yeah.
Cool.
After I got it running.
We just put a box down so we can collect those iron plates when they come out of the smelter. It's pretty cool. I never thought about fueling them quite that way. That's really neat. And I'm glad they fuel themselves.
One of those setups which isn't good for the long run, which is just good for now. Yeah, so
Very nice.
It's working again.
Awesome.
Proof of concept.
One thing to note, though, is that these furnaces, they also have their own internal buffer system. Unlike most other structures, they can actually hold 100 plates within them. So you don't technically need a box to catch them. If you're thinking about in other
extended storage, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people tend to build huge storage setups, but sometimes you really just don't need them because the furnaces do have their own buffer system.
Yep. So I'm going to extend the belt even further because I'm going to show you a good early game power setup, which I'm going to build right now. Let's see. For that I'm going to need 3 boilers and an offshore pump. I need more resources for that, obviously.
Okay. So while you're building that, I'm going to set up these science labs that I got built. and I'm going to manually feed them with science packs so that they can start researching the new research. So I have 10, and I'll just split them up.
So you'll notice my setup is way smaller than yours. But it works. It brings the water up to a temperature of 100 degrees. And then you just fuel one. And it will work for a few inserters and a few mining drills. It is not extendable since, yeah, this spot here is taken up, and I would have to deconstruct something major to extend it. But yeah, it works, kind of.
Cool. Yeah, that's a very good solution if you don't have a lot of resources made yet. So, very nice. All right, let me go back to the research, because I want to talk a little bit about that and how to choose research, etc.
I'm going to join you up there.
Okay, great. So basically what I've already done is I fed red science packs into the labs.
Which you crafted by hand.
Which I crafted by hand. You have to craft the first bits by hand because you literally don't have assemblers yet. So you press T to go to the research screen. And I'm going to select automation. That is one of the first two technologies you should get because you can get assembling machines and long-handed inserters. It only costs 10 research packs. So let me explain that a little bit. Under the cost, there is a time thing, which is in seconds.
The 10 seconds.
Yeah. And then the science packs that you need. For further research, you'll need different colors of packs, which require different ingredients to craft. And then it says times 10. So basically, you'll need 10 research packs at 10 seconds each. You can split up that number by having multiple labs as we have. So when you select one, click research, and you'll see the green bar up in the upper right hand corner starting to research like crazy because we have 4 labs. And I always
it stops for a moment and then it goes on again.
Yeah, because as the labs work, you see the progress bar within them moving. So I'm gonna distribute them around again. And I always recommend having a decent amount of labs. For early game, I like to have around 10. And for later game, I have between 20 and 40, depending on how much.
So how do you say it in English? The more the merrier? Or
yes,
like
the
that?
more the merrier, indeed. Woohoo! And it's finished. Okay, so the next
we have
one.
new items in our inventory.
Oh yes, yes. So with that, we have now gained the ability to make assembler. Yay! Assembling machine 1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to build a couple of those.
What does an assembler make?
And let's start new research. So I'm going to choose logistics next because that'll give us underground belts, fast inserters, and splitters, which are very tasty indeed. So I'm going to set up a very quick setup for actually assembling red research or red science. But I'm going to need some materials. Yeah, I'm going to need some copper plates.
We are always short on resources, obviously.
Yes. Well, that's the whole game, pretty much. You know, it's balancing the resources and making sure you have enough. It's pretty cool. Okay, so
I'm going to get my power setup going here really quick.
Great.
As you can see, I only have one power pole here, which, with its 5x5 area where it supplies power, it touches the steam engine itself, and also I get this little gap here, also
to feed the
supplied, to feed the electric inserters, which I'm going to craft when I have enough resources again in my inventory.
Okay.
A little bit short on iron plates here.
Okay. I'll watch you craft those.
And after that, there's a thing.
And we can go back up to assembling some science.
And after that, this setup is completely self-sustaining. And it will never actually run out. Oh, I have to kickstart it manually. I forgot that. I have to put in the first bit of coal.
So you start generating electricity for those inserters. Nice.
And now they are
there
working
it goes.
slower, faster. And now it's working. And it's self-sustaining only because I don't use any other electrical pieces inside the setup. So no, it's actually not self-sustaining. It would be self-sustaining if I would replace one with a
burner inserter. Okay, cool.
Which will always work even if there's no power. Okay.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. I think I'll start doing a science setup.
Maybe we
Very
could
simple.
start it in the next episode.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Because
So
we made so many things possible in this episode. I think I wouldn't want our viewers to have that.
well, yeah,
Well,
that's the thing about Factorio. It's definitely one more turn and there's always stuff to do. But for now, we must say goodbye and hope to see you next episode.
Okay, see you then. Bye.
Bye.